All right, let's go to Rose in Pullman, Washington. What's up, Rose?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
You got it. Near, far. I love that name. Do people give you... never mind. All right, okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. What's up?
All right, so a little bit of background, kind of just where I'm at. I'm a senior in college, going to school full-time. I'm blessed to be on a sports scholarship and an academic scholarship, so thanks to that and your guys' program, I'll be graduating in May, debt-free.
Wow, very cool.
And I'm also working part-time, and I know that I have less than a year left, and in the whole scheme of life, like the next 8 months is really short, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you sleep every other Saturday?
I try to.
What are you studying?
Animal science.
Animal science. What are you going to be when you grow up?
I have a focus in animal nutrition. So,
are you going to go to vet school?
No.
Are you going to work with like gluten-free cows?
Yeah, gluten-free cows.
Very cool. Yeah. When somebody brings their dog in and they're like, "We want to have a keto dog," you're like, "You came to the right place."
Yeah, no, more not pets.
So what does an animal nutritionist do?
Like design feed programs for cattle operations, pretty much.
I thought that rain fell and grass grew. I thought that was the feed operation. So I'm glad there are people like you out in the world, Rose, making sure we have food to eat, because if it was up to me, we would all die. That's fantastic. Okay. So you're exhausted. Mm-hmm. And you got 8 months till the finish line. And you and I both know that's not how the world works, because right when you get to the finish line, then you're going to have to have a job and move and start a new job, and life just goes crazy. So what are you going to do?
I have, as far as like after college?
Nope. Like for the next 8 months.
I don't know. Kind of keep my head down and just get through it is the goal.
That's the worst thing to do, Rose. Don't just put your head down and deal. I'm just kidding. If that's what you got to do, if that's what you choose to do. What sports are you doing?
I'm on the soccer team.
Okay. And that season runs through the spring, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so y'all haven't really started yet, have you?
We have had a few games, but it's not in full swing yet.
Okay. Here's what I've seen a million times. In the next month or two, if you haven't already, you're going to start thinking, like really kicking into gear about life after college. Where am I going to live? What's my job going to be? Do you already have a job lined up, or have you started that process yet?
I've started it, but it's not official yet.
Okay. All right. Here's the deal. If you get to the finish line and you collapse, you're going to be no good to you. You're not going to be any good to the new employer that's going to pick you up. You're not going to be good to those animals that you're serving downstream. You see what I'm saying? And so what we want to do is to create a life worth living amidst the chaos that is the last year of a collegiate athlete who's also working part-time, who's also fill in the blank. Okay. So let's step all the way back. In order of importance, you got to graduate, right? You got to make your grades, and you're on scholarship, so you got to keep a certain grade, right?
Okay.
At this point in your career, how hard is that?
I'm doing it, but it seems like each day it's getting harder to keep up with it all.
Okay. Do you have to play sports? I think it was my junior year when I quit. I was a track athlete, and I quit. I was doing a lot of work to potentially run one race in one event, and it just ultimately I quit. Do you have to keep playing?
I don't have to, no.
Do you want to?
I do enjoy it, and it is something that I really connect with my parents over. So that's worth what it is, I guess. But
it's not worth your sanity.
I don't have to.
It's not worth your sanity.
Okay.
What about this 20-hour-a-week job?
That is an internship that will
Yeah.
hopefully turn into a bigger job down the road. So I'd like to hang on to that.
It might turn into a bigger job down the road, maybe. And it might be just a great gig. So here's what I'm doing. I'm want to look at all the things that take up your time in your schedule. And I want to be really honest with myself and say, hey, look, I'm really talented in a lot of things because you are. And I can do a lot of things. For the next 8 months for my senior year in college, what do I need to do to be successful at the next stage? Because the party life and the fun life and the traveling around, like that part has to come to an end at some point. And you and I both know you've probably got a couple of people who graduated 1 or 2 years ago that still hang around.
Yeah.
Because they can't let it go. And we also have people like me who, after their freshman, sophomore year, they're like, dude, I was a high school hero. It's time. Like, I'm not going to the Olympics, and I'm not going to do that well, even in a regular meet. It's time. And I don't know what that looks like for you, but here's what I'm telling you. Something sounds like it's got to give. You sound exhausted.
Yeah.
And if your body and mind aren't well, the rest of this stuff doesn't work. Right. Have you been struggling with running low, or have you been more anxious than usual? Okay. Has something else happened?
No, I definitely feel like
relationally.
No, not necessarily. Not. I mean, there's always relational struggles. I feel like nothing huge.
Tell me if I'm off here, and I can be way off. I'm throwing something up against a wall here. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
For a lot of the college athletes that I've spent time with, I was one, but I spent a lot of time with them over the years. And a lot of high-performing students who make great, great, great grades. The ones that were not going on to med school or to law school or to some sort of doctoral program, as they got to the end of their senior year, they had a crisis. And here was the crisis. And you mentioned it. I am who I am because of the grades I make and how I perform on an athletic field. And the things that my parents have drilled into me since I was 4 is academic success and athletic performance and achievement. And your body knows that you are about to run out of relational capital. And it starts to rattle the cage a bit because we don't know who we are without these two things. And these two things are 8 months away and ticking.
Yeah.
And if I don't have sports, I don't know. It's kind of like whenever kids leave and mom and dad have look at each other and like, who are you? That's what your body sounds like it's starting to feel. And there has been no preparation for anything other than you're going to make good grades so that you can go get the job of your dreams and make money or whatever. And you're going to do great on the sports field because it's so fun for parents to tell their friends that their kids are on a scholarship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would love to hear, I want to hear you say, and I'm not saying you do this, okay? I just want you to practice this. Pretend I'm your mom and dad and tell me that you've chosen for the last semester to not play soccer.
Okay. Yeah, that will be a hard conversation to have.
No, practice with me right now. Hey, Rose, what's up? What are you calling for?
I am not playing soccer next semester.
It's going to rip the Band-Aid off of that one.
Yeah.
I hate you and I'm never coming home. Bye. Right. Is that a terrifying conversation or a scary conversation? I mean, what would the response be back?
I mean, they'll probably be supportive of it, but I feel like they'll also be a little disappointed maybe.
Where's that story coming from? Because I don't know if that's true.
This sports or soccer, I think, is something like that we've connected over. Like it's my parents, and so to not have that, I'll have to
find something else.
All right, here's how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, you're 22. I want you to practice the hardest adult conversation you've probably had. And I want you to model it off what my 12-year-old son did. I think I've talked about this on the show, but what my 12-year-old son did, I think it was a year ago now. He knows that his dad is an obsessive Houston Astros fan, and we go to games together, and we go to minor league games here in Nashville, and we play catch, and he played baseball, and played baseball, and he's actually pretty good. And he called a family meeting, and me and my wife went into the meeting, and we were like, wow, I have a 12-year-old already calling family meetings. This is cool. It was not cool. And he said, I don't want y'all to be disappointed, but I would really like to not play baseball this spring, and instead I want to do theater. And I've never been more proud of him because I know how hard that was for him. And of course I was excited. It was a little bit weird, right? I had to mourn it because I envisioned myself as a baseball dad, and I don't give a crap. You know how much fun I had watching him at the play? It was the best, watching him study his lines and get all into character. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. He just got a part in this year's play yesterday, 2 days ago. So I would love you to model it like this, Rose. I'd love you to call your parents or go see them in person and say, I'm scared to have this conversation because I think you're going to be disappointed in me. Or I'm scared to have this conversation because I don't think you'll be disappointed, but all we've ever communicated, really connected on is soccer. And for the last semester, I've got to focus on my grades, and I've got to focus on this internship, and I got to focus on my mental health because I'm about to take the biggest leap of my life into the working world. And I don't want to play soccer this last semester, and I'm worried you're going to be disappointed in me. I want you to say it just like that. Adult to adult to adult. I want you to go for it that way. And it may not be soccer. It may be, hey, I've got to drop this internship, or hey, I can't come home over the break. I'm running too much, too hot. Can I drop down to 15 hours, but I'm going to need $200 a month or whatever you're getting paid to help cover that gap. But I can't go forward at this pace, at this schedule, and be a good scholar, be a good student, the person I want to be. I can't be any of these things if I've got this much crap going on. Okay. Have this big, hard parent to child conversation. It's going to be one of the first ones, if not the first one, that adjusts to adult. And let us know how this conversation goes. I'm proud of you, Rose. You're almost there. You're going to make it.